What's happening, everybody? I'm back. It's me, your resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington, and I'm here with another edition of One on One with the Supervillain. That's me. And if you don't know what that is, it's for the members of the Patreon who are at the $25 and up tier. It's my supervillain squad. And to show the appreciation and the love and the support they show for me, I give back, and we have an hour conversation about whatever they want to talk about. So the range of topics are infinite. And again, a lot of these are coming back around. Some new ones you'll see eventually, but some of these are people who've been supporting from the beginning of the.
Yeah, bam. All right. Bam. And go ahead and mute that and pause that. All right. And I'm back here with the homie from St. Louis, Mr. Luis Torres. Now, it's going to be weird during this one because of internet issues. I'm going between two different cameras. So you will see me between my cell phone camera here and my regular camera. So let me put him in the thing real quick because I think I can do this from both. Okay. So take that out of there. Boom. And bam. There we go. What's happening, man? Oh, let me make sure. Oh, I can't. Duh. Hold on. I got to make sure I can hear you. All right. Let me put me back in this other one. Let's see. Let's add this one back to the stream. Let's drop this one out. Remove from stream.
Shit.
All right. I think we're good. Because this is gonna be so weird. Hey man, look, this is
technology, bro. I'm telling you.
Because again, I'm dealing with the internet that's been acting up, and so
please don't. I know the fact that the internet in LA and California is so monopolized, and it's such bullshit that is happening. It's fine. It's fine. There's nothing you can do. It's good. I just got off of work. I've been up since 5 a.m.
Oh, dude.
Yes,
dude. So we're gonna knock this out and then let you take a nap.
I still got to stream after this. I'm kind of be like you, get the work ethic in.
I mean, work ethic is a good thing, but you don't want this headache. Like, no, I understand it. I mean, appreciate the comments are appreciated for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very, very big headache because you find yourself drained when you need to be doing shit.
Yeah. I mean, I just got off my work, right? The one that pays off for everything that I'm doing, and then this is something that I'm actively pursuing where it doesn't pay a lot or any, but you do it because you want to do it, and it's something that you love and appreciate. So the effort and the stress in the end should be worth it. But
yeah, I feel the same way. You know what? I'll admit I do feel the same way. Is why I bust my ass on so many different levels. Yeah. So that when those opportunities come in and they're present, I'm ready for them no matter where they come in from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't have to be caught off guard by anything.
Mm-hmm. But we make do with what we got, and I just want to say, I know last time it was like a week or two before your birthday, so happy birthday. I will tell you
Thank
this:
you.
I didn't thought you were 40. I thought you were younger than that. Maybe it's just like the energy or something. I honestly thought, but that's just me.
Hey, it's a lot about the energy you give, the energy you feel, and just how you try not to wear everything on you, if that makes sense.
But isn't that the hard thing? One of the hardest things in life, though, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Like you can say, just don't do it, don't worry about it, but it's easier said than done.
I mean, when I look at the way the world is, not even fuck the world, the country that we live in, dealing with that, dealing with the stuff. Then when you break it down to the simplicities of being in California, trying to go back to work, regular work, and having to just push harder on this level on top of the other levels I'm pushing on. It's a lot. And so, yeah, it's easy to say, don't let it stress you. And it could be all, the thing is, if I wear it, I'm wearing it here. I'm going to wear it here. I refuse to wear it here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's where you see it all.
Well, see, it for you, since you're at your level of platform that you are, even though you don't think you're that high, you really are. It's like a double-edged sword, right? Like for you, you don't want your viewers to you want your viewers to just and be entertained for a couple of minutes or an hour or two to just decompress, right? But then you have what's weighing you down, and it's hard to energize yourself. But I'm telling you, Jay, what you do really does matter. I know we talked about it the first time we did this. Yeah. It really does matter. It's really making an impact. So you're doing your job. You're doing what you're meant to do, and just
thank you, man. It means a lot. It means a lot. No, it is, and I'm very much appreciative and very much grateful for those kind words because of people like you who say that. And again, doing what you're doing now, it definitely lets you know that you're doing something right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, for
people,
sure.
if you're doing certain things that people want to ride with you with, it lets you know you're doing something right. And it's funny because like Winston and I were just talking yesterday after we got done doing blurbs. And we were talking about how, for me, I'm always like, yo, what's next? Let's push this show. Let's push it. Let's push it. And he like, yo, let's build it. I'm like, yo, we're building, but let's put, like, we both have the same goals. But for me, it's like, let's go get this shit now. Because I'm just
the way I see it, like for us as the viewer side, it's like you're thinking 25 steps ahead, right? And then Winston is, no, we're right here, we're right now. Let's do with what we work now, and we'll get there eventually to where you're at. But so it's
that's literally what
works. It works very well with between the two of you. So it's fun to watch and just again distress, because by the time you guys are on, I'm still at work. At my time, it's 6:30 or 5:30 or so. I'm still at work.
5:30. It should be like, well, no, it should be like 4:30 your time.
4:30 my time, but like I start watching like around 5:30 or so. So I rewind. It's entertaining. And it's a fun event, and I like it because you're bringing word out. And sometimes you hit some stuff for the Latino community, and I'm telling you, it's much appreciated, the things you say. And I just wish there's more people out there like you who, hey, yo, this shit is real. It is fucked up and it's real, and it needs to be talked about, no matter how like a slap in the face it is to like the normalcy of it. You know what I mean? But it needs to be said, otherwise it's just gonna keep happening. And I appreciate how hard you two fight. Even it doesn't seem like you guys are doing it, but you are. You guys are fighting a good fight, and it means a lot to everybody.
I'm glad to hear that, because one of the things with Blurs, Winston and I say it like every week, and we tell people when we just talk to them about it. Like, we always say the show is unapologetically black. It is what it is because of who we are. But I mean, we're not going to just be quiet about other issues. Again, we see what the brown community goes through. We see what the LGBTQ community goes through. Like, we would be stupid to not talk about those as well, to act like, yeah, only us matters. And it's like, no, for us, we'll hold ourselves as a priority, but we know there's so much more going on. And you don't have a lot of places that don't want to do that because, like you said, they don't want to disrupt the normalcy. They don't want to. What did you say?
It's too sensitive right now. Everybody's like, their skin is not tough enough. They can't take what they're dishing out, and it's almost like their skin is too raw to deal with it.
But it's not even. You know what? I think that's the case. But the problem is, people are being sensitive and too raw and thin-skinned to the actual truth. It's not like somebody's trying to mock them. It's not like somebody's trying to make them look bad or be bad. It's just, we're calling this shit exactly for what it is. And I see a lot of personalities that's like, okay, I just want to stay away from that, and I just want to stream video games. I just want to talk movies. And I'm like, that's fine. Do you? That's cool. No gripes, no anything. But when it comes down to it and you need to actually address it, and you've been passing it over for so long, how's it going to look when people finally hear what you're talking about?
Right. And I think you guys manage a good balance with that. Like you guys need to, what you get, like the fun stuff and talk about the community and like the news and entertainment and all sorts of stuff, but you also are not afraid of not necessarily be political, because it's not political. Political means talking about laws, about what the government states are doing to each other and what's going on. It's not political.
You better talk to me.
It's just it's just talking the truth, and it just. I agree with you. Like, some entertainers out there just don't want to mess with it because, again, sometimes they can't see both sides of the truth, so they just stay away from it to avoid any type of controversy. But like, it needs to be said, and again, I'm barking it again and again, but it is much appreciated from somebody who is a Latino in this country, a person who, like you, is afraid sometimes of the police, who is judged by his skin by color of his skin, or the accents or whatever. And it does mean a lot, you know what I mean? And it's nice to not be silenced, I guess is the word.
Yeah, you know what? Again, it's a thank you, because again, it's just I've always said this. I got a big mouth. I'm loud, so I might as well use it for a purpose. You know what
What?
I'm saying?
You?
I might as well use it for a
No.
purpose. But also, I always said this coming up, even before the internet thing was when I was doing stand up, when I started acting, when I was wrestling. I'd always said if I ever had a platform, I wanted to use that platform for whatever positive I can use it for.
Mm-hmm.
I've been giving a platform with being on the internet and people willing to listen. And, like you said, talking about racial issues is not political, it's just real.
Mm-hmm.
Political issues are like Democrats, Republicans, these laws in particular. When you're talking about real issues and real shit that's happening, that's not political. Just using the term political as a scapegoat for those things.
It's overused, and it's lost its meaning. It honestly has lost its meaning. So, again, just to get off of it, because it's a Friday, so we should be celebrating.
Absolutely.
But again, you guys are doing a good job, and sometimes it seems hard with just hit after hit after hit, especially this year. We just don't get a chance to breathe. You guys are doing a fantastic job and keeping us entertained, but also just being truthful. So,
man, that's what we'll do, man. That's what we'll do, man. So what do you do for work? I don't know if I've asked.
I work essentially without going too much into it, it's food science. So any type of studies that have to do with like pancreatic cancers or people that have lymphoma, people who have diabetes, who have heart problems, or man, female, transgenders, whatever, and they're trying to lose weight or they have to lose weight for health issues. We essentially make studies and do studies and create foods and dietary plans to help those studies. So anytime you see like food that's like you can lose a lot of weight with keto diet or with the Mediterranean diet or whatever. It's essentially what we come up with, what we create, and then sometimes it rolls out to the public and sometimes it doesn't. And stuff like that. Yeah. So we make a lot of food. Not something that I want to do for the rest of my life, but it's something that is very good for now.
I mean, yeah, because when you break it down like that, and then using like again the different diet trends and fads and what people jump on, because I got one of my buddies, he was keto, he still is, and when I first heard it, I was like, wait, you do what?
Yes, it's a very hard diet for most people, but if you're able to stay with it for at least 30 days, it's one of the fastest. And do it well is one of the fastest way to lose weight. Like not maybe body fat, but the fat that like is on like the very like the percentage of it. So you immediately notice it like in your neck and your face, and sometimes in the body. You notice it almost immediately because that you're putting your body in a what's the word?
Ketosis.
Thank you, ketosis, and is burning a lot of food. And the only food that you're telling your body to burn is your fats. Is that energy that you store, and you only eat like meat and vegetables, and even those vegetables cannot be sugar vegetables. So your broccolis are good, cauliflowers are good, stuff like that. But that's it. It's a small type of things you can eat, but it's a hard thing to eat for most Americans because most Americans want cheeseburgers, pizza, pastas, and you can't have those.
Yeah.
You can't.
Well, no, he was doing like burgers. He would do cheeseburgers because he was like he could do dairy and cheeses, and I was like,
yeah.
Again, like you said, using the fat, and I was like, wait, what?
It's a good way to. It slows down people who like if you have a high percent chance of having, diabetes. You can slow it down and reduce your chance of getting it by doing keto diet. Again, it's a very hard diet to get into, but once you're in it, it's good for you. But most people just want to lose the weight they want to lose, and they're done, and they gain their weight back again, which is a hard thing to do.
Because like I said, I've watched my buddy on it, and he's lost a lot of weight. And he's kept it off. He stayed keto, but again, I'm that person. Like all I'm eating is meats and cheeses, and again, if I was the dude I was 2.5, 3 years ago, when I thought I was doing everything the right way, I'd be like, okay, perfect. But now, having lost the weight and working out the way I do, I'm like, wait, is that? Because again, I'm thinking in my mind,
right?
Like most people, is that healthy?
It's healthy, but again, the problem is if you don't like the portion is not correct, then that's when it becomes an issue. So
Okay.
if it's not the proper, like if you don't start getting into the macros of the diet, then that becomes an issue. That's when you gain weight and it becomes bad for you. But if you're able to control the portions you
That
have
makes sense.
and like control how much protein you're getting one day and how much how much fatty food you're getting in a day, and it's a normal, quote unquote, normal amount, then it's good for you. But it's when you have more than you like, if you eat as if you're still overweight and not having gone to the diet, then that's when it creates issues for the people.
And then you got to actually work out with it too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. No, well, if for extremely overweight people who can't walk or whatever, it's a good way to start with just eating right. But once you lose enough weight to where you're able to work out or at least walk at a faster pace, then yes, it's good to start introducing some type of exercise that will essentially cardiovascular exercise that will get your heart pumping. That the combination of those two is a good way to lose a lot amount of weight. But if you just even if you're just gonna like not work out but just eat, you can lose a lot of weight. People have lost 50, 60 pounds on just eating properly and eating right. But people don't do that. They overeat.
Well, I have that was one of the things I learned too in my weight loss journey so far. Was the biggest thing I learned was you can work out all you want all day, every day. If what you eating and your diet isn't right, like people hear the word diet and they look at it in the complete negative. But if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, dietary wise, all of it's for nothing.
For people to lose proper weight in a healthy way is they have to. It's 90% about what you eat and what you don't eat. But people don't know that. Like for me, for example, I'm overweight, but my main issue is portion control. For the past month now, I've lost 10 pounds, and all I have ever done, because I'm busy from 5 till about 7 o'clock at night, is just control how much I eat. And I don't even I don't have to. I'm not in a specific diet. I'm just controlling what I'm eating. So I'm watching how many calories I'm eating in a day, and I lost 10 pounds already, or give or take, without doing much. And that just means not even working out. If I was working out, it'll be even more. But people don't do that. People
dope.
Yeah, and again, it's a pretty cool job, and you have to be a good cook, but it's not something I want to do every day for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? It's good benefits, good health insurance or whatever, but it's not something I want to do for the rest of my life. This is only temporary.
You want to do the internet thing, or
yeah, for sure. Maybe not yes.
Or do you want to go? Where do you want to go with that? Let's say that.
In the perfect world, it will be broadcasting on the internet. So I'll be either producing, I'll be behind the scenes, I'll be, if I want to, be in front of the camera, being the co-host. That is what attracts. That's what gets me energized. Even when I'm coming home at 7, I still stream because I love it. You know what I mean? To an audience of 0, to myself talking to a freaking camera with nobody behind it. I just gets me energized. You know what I mean? It's fun, and I enjoy. I love the puzzling behind, we talked about it last time. The puzzling behind the editing, the sound editing. If you're making a video, where to cut, what to cut. It's fun. Mentally tiring as all hell, but fun. It's fun.
What you just described, for those who may be watching this stuff, what you just literally described is passion, dude. That's all that is. That's unbridled passion about something. I mean, I know that feeling with a lot of things. I know that feeling, but the way you said it was it doesn't matter if anybody's watching or not. Because
it'll be fantastic. But it'll be fantastic. But it is what it is. It just, sorry for interrupting you. It just you get like a kid, like you said, I guess it is passion. It took me a while to figure out who or what I am, because I've always followed what other people said for me to be. And it's taken me 20 some odd years to finally, I like this. I enjoy this. What is this? What's more? I need more. And I'm off to the races 20 odd years later. But it's I want more.
Look, you just heard me tell you about it earlier when it comes to trying to push blurs. I'm like, it's nice. It's fine. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love what we've built. I love where we're going. But I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
we can do more. And
Yes.
again, it's that passion. Like because after we're done with this,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna edit this up and schedule it. But I'm also like normally I do the Focus T25 workouts with my group and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, tonight I'm not gonna work out with the group. I'm gonna go take myself in the wrestling ring. I'm gonna go train.
Woo.
Now, I haven't been in like 2-3 weeks because the air was so bad, so I couldn't leave out.
Yeah.
But I've been working out. But also, my body is so beat up and sore from Focus T25. I was like, well, let me go beat it up in a wrestling ring, which makes no fucking sense. But again, it's that passion I have for the wrestling business.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody's like, yo, what do you want to do with it? And I'm like, if I have the opportunity to go one of the major companies, I would absolutely take it because it does nothing.
Or who would you want to work for? Impact, AEW, or WWE? We heard all the horror stories in all of them, but you being an inside man, like, which one do you think has the most legs out of your career at this stage, I guess?
AEW.
Ooh.
Here's why.
Okay.
And this is just something real. People gotta, people fans see it as well. How many times have you watched a WWE program and you know somebody who's on that show, a talent, and you'll be like, where the hell are they? Like they're not injured or anything.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, where the hell are they?
Mm-hmm.
And so you remember that this company has so much talent and only so much time on television.
Yeah.
And again, like we've said before, it's not a wrestling show. It's a TV show centered around wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a wrestling show, you would see way more wrestlers happening.
Yeah.
But that's not the case. And so, yeah, would I love to have that name as a WWE superstar? Absolutely. To have that bank account that follows it? Absolutely. But also, I don't want to be forgotten about.
Right.
Because I've seen
a lot of people
who get signed. Some people get signed, and then you like, well, what happened?
Yeah, they're never been used, or if they use them, it's like for some, they're used as what's it called?
Enhancement talent.
Yeah, you're just talent, and or you get people used to be pushed for somebody else. What's it called? Talent. Yeah, thank you. And you're forgotten unless you do something major, and even then, like we talked about it last time, like Finn Balor, he's fantastic wrestler, fantastic dude, but they don't use him right, and now he's back on NXT, which again he's showing what he can do, which is fantastic. But in WWE,
but I think that's his decision.
I mean,
because you now have a lot of people who came through NXT who are like
going back to NXT.
Send me back down.
Yeah.
If I can work more and have a little more creativity and fun, send me back.
And isn't it like NXT a bit more like the professional minor leagues? I guess like that's a good way to compare. Because
it's considered a legit third brand of the WWE now. So like it's not even considered developmental anymore. It's considered a legit third brand. So it's like send me back to NXT, fine. And again, because Bo Dallas is going back, and it's like I don't blame you. You ain't using me on regular TV. You're not doing the one thing the fans have been clamoring for you to do, and that's put me with my brother.
Let
me just go back.
I'll like if like let's say in our dream worlds, right? My dream world is making it big here on the internet, and your dream going big in wrestling. What kind who would you want to wrestle? Like who is like your end all be all wrestler that you want to wrestle with that's currently on AEW and maybe past, I guess, if we're able to do that and go into time machine.
Current AEW wrestler I would love to work with. I'd love to work with Dustin on AEW.
Oh,
because I can learn so much from him. I watch his matches, and you don't see a 55-year-old guy. You see a guy who's still learning and growing in the business. daily. And so that is inspirational because you watch him have the matches with some of the younger guys when they put him in there, and he's not just abusing his veteran status. He's working with them. And so seeing that is a big thing for the WWE. I honestly, it's either Keith Lee or Big E, because I am a fan of big men wrestlers, number one, because I am. But also their energy that they have
is insane. Is that of like a dude that's like half their size? Keith Lee and Big E. Oh my, it's incredible what they do. It's
not just
like,
that's not even just talking about their talent though. I'm not just talking about their athletic size. I'm talking about the energy. Like if you look at Big E's energy, no matter what, it keeps this match going. And so that for me is something that pushes that it's so inspirational to see. So like that would be the case for that. If again, I'm not. Go ahead.
I was gonna say dream scenario. Who were you like old school wrestler?
I've always, when I got into business, I molded my entire career, my young career coming up after one person. And granted, he's not the same person anymore. It was Rhino. Rhino was the dude that I loved watching him work in ECW. Yeah. There was something about a shorter built dude that can move, that was just running through people. Yeah. You know, and he was the dude for me.
One of the best spears in the game, too.
One the best. Like when he called it a door, because it literally he ran through you. He ran through you. And so to watch that and to grow up in the business looking at that, and then when I got a chance to meet him, I remember I was backstage at a Resistance Pro show in Chicago, because he was on the show, and my boy Marche Rocket, former Impact superstar, had actually worked him, and so he knew him person. He was like, Terry, this is my boy Jay. Jay, this is Terry. And I was like, man, I'm pleased to meet you. I said, I've always been a fan. My dream match has always been to work with you. And he said, I hope not. And I was like, why not? He was like, because you were like, you'll whoop my ass. And at that moment, I was like, and so that was, you know, a thing for me, because everybody normally has that. I want to work Flair, Sting, Hogan, you know, Steamboat. I'm like, there was always somebody different. I always wanted to be able to test myself. Like, if possible, again, another person I would have loved to learn from is Chris Benoit.
Yes. Even with the stigma, though? Like, you know, with what he did? I said
then. Okay. Because here's the reason I bring up Benoit. And yes, even though we know he was double homicide and suicide. We know about that. I always will go back to one person in particular, and you can look at the elevation in their career, and that person will even thank him. MVP. The series of matches MVP had with Chris Benoit made MVP a better wrestler than he already was. You see what I'm saying? Like when you work somebody like that, and their talent level pushes you up, that's what you want. It forces you to get better. I would have loved to work Triple H, because
young Triple H, or I mean, which era after he came back from 2003 from his shoulder injury where he became the Game, or before when he was working with with Orton and Batista and
you're talking about Evolution. Well, before Evolution, in order to get Evolution, you have to have the Game. So you have to have the Game. And so the Game for me is one of the best, because Triple H was the epitome of, when he called himself the Cerebral Assassin, he knew how to work a match. He knew the psychology of what to do.
Yeah.
He didn't have to have a bunch of flashy moves, and, you know, not taking anything away from him or anybody that does, but what he did in every match, he would have things that would just stand out because he knew how to do it.
Even with all the political stuff like going on in the background, you would still choose to wrestle with him?
I mean, that's the business.
I mean, fair enough.
That's like, to be honest. I mean, you can't.
Because he kind of pissed me off what he did to what's his name? God. what's up? How Booker T? What he did to him on what was it, WrestleMania or something like that, or Night of Champions, or
Yeah,
one of
I
the
mean, we a lot of
pay-per-views?
people. Yeah, Booker's even brought that up. Um, again, I think
I
it's
mean, I
fucked
can't
up for
judge.
several reasons,
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say
but
I don't really want to judge him for what he did back then, but you kind of have to judge him. You know what I mean?
I know I got. But what it is too is you got to remember Booker and a handful of others are
We're from
guys who came
ECW.
over WCW guys.
Yeah. Sorry.
They're WCW. No, I'm just saying
Mhm.
that's what you're right. The WCW guys, and so at the time you got this war. Booker's one of the top guys at WCW, but you got that's when all of a sudden the Attitude Era steps up, and you get the Austin McMahon, Austin Rock, Hunter, all them
Mhm.
guys busting their asses, and now you after the acquisition, you come over and they finna make you seem like you still kind of a big deal, but you got to remember this. I'm Triple H. This is my house. I'm Austin. This is my house. I'm The Rock. This is my house. I'm Angle. This is my house.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So the business wise, I understand why it happened, if
Mhm.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people always say, well, business don't have to be like that. I'm like, yo, again, that's how I've been able to navigate the world of stand-up comedy
It's a
because of the politics that change.
dog world, though, isn't it? Sorry, it's a
What'd you say?
it's a dog eat world, isn't it? Though,
It's a very much a
especially
dog
at
eat
that
dog
level.
world. Yes, it's a dog eat dog. But also, yeah, people forget Hunter did one thing that a lot of people weren't willing to do. And it's not just quote unquote kiss McMahon's ass. Hunter was the first person there, the last person to leave, would literally stand up under Vince and started giving Vince advice. Everybody was scared to talk to Vince. He
Mhm.
would do it. And so you can't be mad at that man who said, I watched all of y'all be silent when he asked, did anybody have any ideas? I watched every last one of y'all be quiet. And I said something. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that gives me a little bit of because it's like to this day, I still hear about how people are terrified to talk to Vince.
I mean, fair enough. The man is like 80 something years old. He's probably gonna outlive everybody in this business.
It's not even that. It's not just that. It's the fact that
His attitude and mentality is old school.
you're Vince McMahon. Wrestling, as we know as a whole, you own the biggest company in professional wrestling.
Mhm.
Your Hall of Fame is the Hall of Fame.
Mhm.
Granted, Impact has theirs, other places that have theirs, but you want to be a WWE Hall of Famer.
Yeah, for sure.
Your company is legendary. You can make or break my career. You can put me in a gimmick that I'll never live down potentially. Or you could give me the rocket strapped to my back and everything can change. Now, granted, people have eventually learned to talk to Vince. You know, it took time, but at that point when it was happening, nobody wanted to.
Fair enough. So so from the WWE present is Big E and God, I'm horrible with names.
Keith Lee.
Thank you, Keith Lee. And then old school will be Triple H and fuck, Chris
Benoit.
Yes.
And actually, give me.
See, for me, old school. If I could wrestle, I would want to wrestle Triple H after he either before he came back, like when he fought Terry in the Hulk or Hulk Hogan. Sorry, the Hulk.
Mhm.
Or after he came back in what was it, 2007, 2008, with Triple H to bring out the new DX, the more kid-friendly version of DX, where he was
I
still
remember
where
that
he was still able to wrestle without too much of like when he wasn't old. You know what I mean? Like when he wasn't Dubai old. Because for me, I grew up watching that Sean. Again, I was like 10 years old when I was first introduced to the WWE, and my brother and I would like for us that was our superheroes, right? because whatever you want to say now, Vince always made the WWE, WWF for kids. It's a kids story show. That's a lot of blood, a lot of action, and probably a lot of nudity that kids didn't need to see. But it was for kids. It's why the baby faces hit so hard. It's why the your bad guys are always hitting so hard too, because it's a kid's story. And at the end of the day, it's a kid's story. Whether we as adults like it or not, it's for kids.
Superheroes. It's superheroes and supervillains.
Yeah.
The superheroes and supervillains.
And he figured that out brilliantly. So for me,
I think he took over what his dad and all them other people had learned, and was like, because again, if you look, not to cut you off, if you get a chance to watch some old school wrestling, like the early WWF stuff, like maybe 80s, look at all the kids.
Yeah.
Look at all the kids. Now, granted, when you look at a crowd now, it's for, like, I hate to say it this way, it's all the marks in the front. You know what I'm saying? And unless the kid is either somebody they know or a parent or somebody got some money, it's not a lot of kids in the front.
Well, I think a lot of those kids grew up to be who they are now, but there's still a lot of kids in the show.
The kids became the marks, but I'm talking about in general, like it used to always, you would see the generation of kids stay in the front.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. You don't see that. Now that's not the case. You know, but yeah, it is. It was always it was real life, like I said, superheroes.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
And when you have granted you have the wrestlers who just I'm the brute. I'm the guy that just wears the tights, the knee pads, and maybe boots, or maybe I just wear tights and boots, and that's it. Or trunks and boots. But then you had the costumes, and you had, I'll never Doink the Clown was the play on Nightmare.
God. Yeah.
Doink was the play on Nightmares, because at first he was so nice. And then when they made Doink a heel, that was the worst thing ever.
Yeah. They had the gigantic egg, a turkey came out of that too. Was entertaining to watch.
The gobbledygooker. Because I don't know, did you watch The Undertaker's Last Ride?
Yes, I did. Did you? It was fantastic.
I don't know if he said it on Last Ride or if he said it when he did Broken Skull Sessions with Austin, how he thought he was going to be the one come out the egg.
It was Broken Skull.
Yeah. He was like, he thought he was going to be the one coming out. I was like, that would have been terrifying.
Yes. For a first entrance too, it wasn't like the first time ever he was going to be introduced that way, wasn't it? Out of the egg?
No, well, he'd been wrestling. He'd been wrestling for the longest. He was over in WCW. He's been wrestling for a while. He's part of the Skyscrapers.
No, like when he became the Undertaker. Like that was how he was going to introduce us.
Yeah, he thought it was going to be. He didn't even think the Undertaker was going to be a thing. He just thought he was going to be the dude hatched out the egg. And
Thank God it didn't happen.
Oh, I think that would have been like.
I don't think his career would have lasted as it has lasted to this day. Yes, he went out this year with the Boneyard match, which was probably one of the best matches I've ever seen in WWE.
As much as up to him.
Yeah, as much as it was
up to his strength very well.
As much as we don't like to say it, he's an old man and he needs to be taken care of. But I don't think his legacy would have survived if he started with the egg. As weird as the leg. Really?
I don't think he'd have had a legacy.
Not until
The Undertaker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think he would have had to be the egg dude. Then you'd have had to take him off TV for a long time. A long time to where we can all forget about it.
Yeah.
And then try to bring him back. But the problem would be in promos, it's easy to kill the mystique of the Undertaker if you say, "Yo, didn't you come out of an egg?"
Isn't that how Triple H killed Kofi's career move too? Like back in when he started, he goes, "Weren't you Jamaican?"
When he told that man, he said, "Where's your accent? Ain't you supposed to be from Jamaica?" Oh,
yeah. I guess again, as much as I like the WWE, like sometimes the pettiness, it's like, oh my god! Like for me as a fan, because I don't understand the behind the scenes. Because again, I saw as a kid, so I was like, "Why are you so petty, Jesus?"
Oh, that
Petty,
between that
why?
when they shit when him and Shawn Michaels shit on the Spirit Squad and put on
When
when they put him in a crate and slapped a label that said "Ship to OVW."
when they did that to poor what was it to Hardy's ex-girlfriend,
Lita.
Lita, when Chad and what's his name? What was Chad's partner? May he rest in peace.
Oh, JTG.
Yeah, when they took out her private, like her like bras and panties, and just threw them to the crowd as she was leaving. Like Jesus, like I wonder whose idea that was, because I don't think
Probably
she was
Vince's.
I don't think she was into it. Like she was with it though. You know what I mean?
Again, probably Vince's. To be quite honest, if we're gonna be honest, probably Vince's. But again, you see all those things that happen. Again, the pettiness. Like the one thing about promos is it helps when the person you're cutting the promo against and you're in that program with, you're married with, you all are legit friends. It helps because say for instance, it's you and I, and we're married, we're in a program, and we've been friends. Well, if I throw jabs at you, you know I'm gonna throw them because you're gonna throw them back. So it's not coming off harsh. But then you have those promos where the people really ain't friends; they just are coworkers. Like the most recent one, I was in one of my Facebook groups I'm in. It's a wrestling group, and somebody posted, "Never forget the promo the Miz cut on Enzo when he told him about his life."
Yes.
When he was like, "You think you the cruiserweight champ? You going on? You on the cruiserweight division because they wanted you over there? Like nobody wanted you here." I was like, "Oh,
Jesus!"
Oh!
The Miz has evolved into be one of the best on mic people ever.
Because he said what was true. That's the thing, though. Again, you talk about petty. Nobody in the back likes you. Nobody wants you here. You're nothing but you're a fraud. You're nothing but a catchphrase. And it was just like, oh, it was because it was all true.
Yeah, for sure.
And you see those a lot. I mean, it's rare. You try to see them be recreated in a sense now where they try to, every company does, they try to recreate that lightning in the bottle where it's like, all right, I need you to say this, but say it in a way where it's going to sting. And you see some of the promos and you're like, all right, this feels like it has real passion behind it. But then you're like, is it real?
Yeah. Do you think that was the reason problem with WWE until like with the global bastard, especially with Roman Reigns? Now he's given the freedom which you called for like almost a month ago. It happened earlier than we talked about, but it happened just the way it did. We talked about, and he's now given a bit more freedom to be who he wants to be and not the cookie cutter Cena replacement.
Well, he had to be because of he had to be right now because of the situation, because of COVID and them. They have the residency at the Amway. The rosters are thin and very depleted, and if you don't have people injured, you did a bunch of releases which kind of don't make sense. You couldn't have Roman Reigns come back and just be Roman Reigns. Like that, you knew it would have just been like, this is really not worth watching. People are already feeling like that. There are people who are still like, all right, you're trying to do this thing with the virtual fans. I'm still not into it because people aren't into it with the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. And so, people aren't into it. And again, some of the storylines, people are just like, whatever. But you changed something up with Roman. You allowed Roman to say, there's nothing more freeing to a person that's had to be a certain way than to tell them, you want to be a bad guy? Show me you're a bad guy and make me hate you. There's nothing more freeing to a talent than doing that. Because for years, I thought being a badass for me was just coming out to the ring, scowling, looking like an angry black dude. That was it. And I was like, that's not it. And I was like, there's something missing. I even told myself, I was like, there's something missing. What is there missing? And then a light bulb hit me and was like, yo, you're missing.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to have this argument with myself. Like, what do you mean you're missing?
Mm-hmm.
You talk. You can run your mouth. You know who you are. You don't have any, like, if somebody says something about you, you can take that and then run back with it. You got to be you.
Yeah.
And then when I started being me, because the Urban Gladiator is a thing I've had for years, but when I started being just me now, it's like, yo, I'm like, yo, I've seen people like in the ring, like, okay, I get it. You're supposed to be cute and flashy because you did a couple extra sit-ups. I probably do 2 later, but my stomach hurts. And like, I'll say shit like that and then go into a promo, and then that's what makes it better.
Right.
Because like, I'll say during the match, like you'll hear me say during the match times before the match, depending on who I'm working. I've said this to a couple dudes because I'm normally like a bigger dude in the match. It is what it is. And I've been in the ring against some smaller guys, and I was like, oh, I'm finna beat your ass. You literally hear me say that out loud. Because it's not something you expect to hear.
Yeah, for sure. It's very cookie cutter.
You know what I'm saying? You hear people saying, you want me to whoop this guy? I'm like, oh, I'm gonna, because I literally do, like, me being me, I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. I'll be in the ring, my head will cock back, everything, like, oh, I'm finna whoop your ass. Like, it's just literally me being me. And then they're like, well, damn. And then I started to proceed to whoop that ass. I was like, this is this ass whooping I told you I was gonna give. And then like when shit happens to reverse and all that stuff, but it's allowing the freedom to be you. And again, I understand too, where on indie level, you can be a certain thing. The companies that hire you have to believe in you being that too on another level. Because if they don't, then it's like, well, you're just here now.
So do you prefer playing the babyface or the heel? Which one do you think is like more to you? Like, again, I can probably guess the heel, or a bit of like a mixture of both, probably, where you're not necessarily like an asshole, but you're just like, if you have to be good, you can be good, but you're gonna have to run your mouth through everybody. But
I think I prefer to be the heel because of, you said it, me being an asshole. It's genetic. It's genetic. I get to have that. I get to be that person who speaks his mind, who says what he feels, who don't care about hurting your feelings. I'm gonna be a heel. You want me to be the bad guy? I'm gonna be the bad guy. I've learned. I was trained by guys who were trained by old school people, where I'm gonna be that heel where your kid ain't gonna want to talk to me. Your kid can try to get autographs from everybody else. Your kid ain't gonna want to talk to me. You as the parent ain't gonna even want your kid to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind being that heel because again, I'm doing my job. And you know, some people be like, well, after the show, you should just talk and blah blah blah. And I'm like, here's the problem with that. Again, I have an old school mentality with that in a sense. At the show, even though the show is done, you're still seeing the performers. I'm still supposed to be that dude you just hated. I'm not gonna go all of a sudden now because I got on a couple chains, couple bracelets, my jeans, some dope ass shoes. Now all of a sudden I'm a whole new dude that you can come up and talk to. No, I'm a dude that's like, man, fuck away from me. Like, I'm not gonna take, because I want you to go back to your mom and tell you he was like he wouldn't give me an autograph. I want you to go to your daddy and say that. So your mom and
so
daddy
you want to be
like,
that old school heel,
right? So your mom and daddy can come to me like, well, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You thought the same? You thought I'm not that dude that was in that ring? I don't care what your family members or friends do. I'm that dude. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the beauty of what Roman is able to now be like, yo, y'all know me as a family guy. Okay. You know I'm the dude that beat cancer. Okay. I'm the dude y'all loved, and I'm the dude y'all love to hate. Now I'm going to give you a reason to hate me. And the problem is people don't want to hate him because they got fucking Paul Heyman, and everybody's like, well, what's going to happen if Brock show up? Like, it's a weird thing, but it adds a new extra element that nobody expected. The only problem I do have with the whole Roman situation on SmackDown is the rumor is they're supposed to make the Fiend a face. And I'm like, how do you make what literally turned Monday Night Raw into a horror show into a face? Again, it's rumored. It's rumored
Wow.
because the weird part behind that is Alexa Bliss is about to become Sister Abigail.
Yeah.
We're watching this happen,
Mm-hmm.
and it's literally been the longest storyline played out.
For what, 2-3 months now?
Fuck, months,
Even longer?
years. It's been years.
Oh, you're talking about? Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
Alexa being Abigail has been playing out for years,
Mm-hmm.
and so now it's coming to fruition. And it's like, okay, so if she's become this dark Sister Abigail, if the Firefly Funhouse becomes not just puppets but real people, you can't make that baby faces.
No, you really can't. But isn't she a character supposed to be introduced sometime soon in the Firehouse Funhouse?
They did one. They did a puppet that's it's a warthog or somewhere, a walrus, and it's Paul Heyman.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only reason they did that one. That's probably not going to last. That's probably only going to last until the program with Roman is done or whatever. But I think they are supposed to introduce a new character. My thing is, introducing new puppets that Bray doesn't introduce seems so much like a let creative do this.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? It doesn't seem like, because again, Husky Harris, Mercy the Buzzard, Sister Abigail, they all serve a purpose as those puppets. They are the former personalities of what he was, the former iterations.
Mm-hmm.
And Rambling Rabbit, excuse me. But when you add in other ones, it's just like the McMahon one is genius.
Gold.
The McMahon one is genius. Because again, do you understand how much confidence you got to have in yourself as a character when you allow yourself to ridicule yourself and then still get ridiculed by a puppet version? But you know what it's doing, what it's leading up to. Because every time you watch Bray Wyatt get ridiculed and shot down and told things by the puppets and the McMahon puppet, all this does is feed to the Fiend.
Mm-hmm.
That's genius.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you get another puppet that comes in and it doesn't fit what we've been seeing, doesn't work. Like, I like what Bray Wyatt was doing. Everybody, the Fiend attack ended up being a picture on the wall.
Yeah.
Like, keep that.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that. I'm cool with that. You ain't gotta make it nothing else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. So do you think the change is gonna happen to what is it, this Sunday? Isn't that this Sunday the Night of Champions? Or you think you're gonna wait a bit longer?
Alexa Bliss?
For Alexa Bliss, and maybe possibly with Bailey and Sasha, finally, after years of teasing, that blowout will happen? Or do you think they're gonna hold it back again?
What they finally did with that Sasha, in my opinion, and I think I've read this too, was they finally did it a way that makes sense, because they always made it where Sasha was gonna be the one to turn.
Mm-hmm.
And so Bailey being the one to turn and be healing this, and Sasha being the face, works. I'm about to look at the card for Clash of Champions because
I think Bailey is going up against what's her name? Sasha's ex-friend.
Bailey is Nikki Cross.
That's her name.
Yeah, so that's where you're gonna get both.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get both because Sasha and Bailey are going in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah,
Sasha and Bailey going to Hell in a Cell, and Nikki will become who she becomes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be good though. Although I don't know if I want to watch it for sure. I just may watch the highlights or something. The one I'm interested in is the Roman Reigns.
What about it?
I said the only one I'm really interested in is the Roman Reigns versus
I was just about to bring that
Jay.
up. It's pointless. It's pointless. You can do the whole family element all you want, and yeah, because it's Clash of Champions, Night of Champions, whatever they want to call it. You can do it now where all the titles have to be defended. That's fine. But there is no fucking way Roman Reigns is dropping the belt to his cousin.
No.
You see
Especially
what I'm
because
saying?
Jay doesn't have like the same power as much as it sucks because he's a fantastic worker. It just
It doesn't work without
it's for
Jimmy.
now. No.
It doesn't work without Jimmy.
And I just hope they don't break them up either, because they always do that, and they've been doing it for a while for a lot of teams. They've been breaking them apart.
Jimmy's hurt.
I mean,
but that's a different thing. Yeah, they've been. Oh my God, they just said, you know what? Fuck everything in tag teams. Just like
what is it true that Vince just doesn't like tag teams? Because I remember before, like they were like tag team champions were like for aside from the WWE champion, it was a tag team champions that were also like almost like right behind them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now over the years, they just.
Well, he just doesn't believe in them because a lot of them don't get over. Again, you got rid of AOP. They wasn't doing shit no way. You got rid of the Good Brothers, but you put them in a situation where they weren't doing nothing. Mm-hmm. You've turned the Viking Raiders into a joke.
Which are fantastic. And
like, I love the Street Profits, but when you started having them playing games with the Viking Raiders, it took the seriousness of who they are away.
What they did at, what was it, that other pay-per-view that they had, that stupid fight with the ninjas and the freaking monster and then throw them over the trash. Like, why? They're fantastic. I just... My head hurts thinking about it.
Yeah,
it just doesn't make sense. Personally, for me, like on the fan side, on the outside view, it doesn't make sense because those teams are. I want to watch more of them. What they do, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you definitely do. I mean, it was for the WWE. They would have tag teams and then they would have makeshift teams. You know, where they just throw wrestlers together. They caught lightning in a bottle. I think has only happened twice, and the most notable one for me personally is the New Age Outlaws. That's the most notable lightning in a bottle, throw two people together team ever.
True.
Think about it. You throw Billy Gunn, who was a part of the Smoking Guns, who becomes Mr. Ass, with the Roadie, who becomes the Road Dogg. And you throw them together in D-Generation X and just happen to put them together in a tag team, and they become the New Age Outlaws and become one of the greatest teams in history.
For sure. What about the Hardy Brothers? They were also they're
not a makeshift team though. They've always been a tag team. I mean, that's I think their strength is more so in a tag team because you can get Matt over for a minute, for me, in my personal opinion, but it doesn't last. Jeff just is Jeff.
So I don't know. Like they don't. I think the New Day are like they just took the bar of what the modern tag team champions or just tag teams are in general into a new level. Because before them, the matches were 5 minutes long, and then even the preview show, and then gone. But with sometimes nowadays too, but with the New Day, from the very intro, from Big E, introducing them, the energy, and then the athleticism of all three, and just them being them. Which is the fantastic thing about it.
And that was the thing. No matter which two you put together out of the three, you can get a great match out of them.
Yeah.
No matter which ones. And again, the Usos and the Bar brought the best out of them.
Do you know why the Bar broke up? And they put Cesaro with Shinsuke?
Well, at one point, it was because Sheamus thought he would never be able to wrestle again. I think Sheamus has spinal stenosis or something like that. Right. And so at one point they thought Sheamus wouldn't be able to ever wrestle again. And so Cesaro can still go. And then it was like, this is glad you brought this up. Because there are a lot of people I see on the internet and everything who go, oh, the WWE is burying and wasting Shinsuke Nakamura, right? When people forget this one important thing, Shinsuke Nakamura is doing what we like to call cashing the fuck out. He does not care.
He's pulling a Brock Lesnar.
Not even just that. When Shinsuke was in Japan still, Shinsuke's body was taking a beating nonstop.
But isn't that also with the style in Japan though is more physical?
But that's what I'm saying. His body was taking a beating. Then you get to America, you don't have to have as grueling of matches, and then you're being paid a dumbass sum of money because of who you are, and you get to go surf every day because that's what he loves to do. Shinsuke Nakamura cashing out. AJ Styles cashing out. Kevin Owens cashing out.
The only one I don't kind of agree with that is AJ Styles because he's not wrestling as he once was. Granted, that comes with age, but he's still wrestling good wrestling matches. Well, majority of them, if they don't end out in getting kicked in the balls.
No, just because you're cashing out doesn't mean that you're still not wrestling good matches if you don't want to. He's still cashing out. AJ Styles, again, why do you leave Impact besides the fact of what was happening with the company? You got now set. You were offered a dumbass amount of money. You get to perform on a level that you never thought you were going to perform, probably. Because, he was in the WWE way, way back, but it was like when they were doing Sunday Night Heat and Velocity and shit like that.
I didn't even know that.
It was small things you wouldn't really pay attention to. But then you have him now can have some great matches with new people because the matches we see are some classics because, of course, we've never seen them wrestle them before. And then we see them do it multiple times. Well, excuse me. And then, again, the schedule is so easy for him. That's what I mean by cashing out. Things change now. You don't have to. You can, again, Kevin Owens loves what he does. He can still go crazy, but he doesn't have to continually do it. So when people hear, like, oh, people are getting wasted, there are people who are actually being wasted. There are other people who are just like, do you think I give a fuck? And Shinsuke Nakamura is number one on that list.
Fair enough.
Granted, we all would have loved to see Shinsuke as the WWE champion. Yes,
we would. A good run with AJ, not the bullshit run of kicking balls.
We would have loved to see it. But guess what Shinsuke got to do? No matter what,
get paid.
Main event WrestleMania.
Yeah, especially like on his first run, like recently just brought in too.
What'd you say?
Especially since I think on that year he literally just came in that year too.
He had just came in. He had just come in.
Yeah, for sure.
He had just come in. You know what I'm saying?
And he beat Roman Reigns too, the golden child for the WWE.
Again, you won the Royal Rumble. You had just come in. You're Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah.
Your legacy is complete. You are a legend. They brought you in because you are a Japanese legend.
Do you think they will give him a induct into the Hall of Fame?
Of course he is. Of course he goes. He doesn't go whenever he retires. He might not go that first year or two, but Shinsuke for sure goes. He's Shinsuke Nakamura. Remember, there are people who are brought in to you just hear such got signed, right?
Yeah.
But then there are other people who are brought in to pomp and circumstance and fanfare. And that was Shinsuke. You get what I'm saying? Shinsuke was brought in with a documentary about him. Flying him in, meeting Triple H, going and everything. Shinsuke goes to the hall.
Okay.
So, well, yeah, man. So listen, let's save some of this because this can get a deep one. This can go deep because I know how you can think with these questions and start asking questions. Now, I don't blame you. I don't. But let's save it, man. Listen, I'm always glad to have these, bro. And I'm glad you got to wake up. I saw you wake up eventually because I know you got to push something through it. Tell people how they can find you and check out your streams, man, so they can start watching your streams.
You can find me in all social media at LTKing93 at Twitch. I stream every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and sometimes even at 5:30 till 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night. Again, twitch.com / LTKing93. Simple and easy.
Cool. Make sure y'all check him out on that, man. Show him some love and support. He's trying to grow, and he can't do that without you guys' help. So please do that. Y'all already know the drill of how to find me. Let me find. We will holler at y'all next time with another edition of the 101 series. Take care. I'm out. Bye.
See ya.